So now you got it live now?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, one of these days, Gary, you're gonna have to show me how to do that fancy stuff behind you.
I was just clicking around on it and I found it said change background and there it was.
Live on YouTube.
Hey, Frenchie, I don't know if you know, but I think they're talking about canceling the Chamber Christmas Parade, or if that's been announced yet.
Yeah, I just ran into Debbie Coletti and that's what she kind of told me. So I think they're gonna make the announcement possibly tomorrow. I think Mandy's gonna put it out. I think everybody else canceled today too. I think the Lions Club canceled. I think Festus is getting ready to cancel. I think they're all gonna be canceled. I think life's gonna be canceled for the next few months, I think.
Yep. I'm gonna turn that down.
And a guy come in the funeral home this morning, he goes, I just want somebody to cough in my face, give it to me so I can get it and be over with it.
I don't think they want that.
I
Do
said,
you recommend
no.
that, Gary?
Huh?
Do you recommend that?
I do not. I highly do not recommend that at all. Oh my gosh.
How are you feeling now, Gary?
I'd actually feel really well, except weakness, fatigue. Don't take long for me to get tired doing anything. And my legs feel like lead weights.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, though. We were concerned. Trish just asked me the other day if I had heard how you were feeling.
I was really, really concerned. I thought, man, and then oh, Bob, God love him, he goes, yeah, he said, I was kind of planning your funeral. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, well, thanks, Bob. I appreciate that. Yeah.
What are friends for?
Yeah, what are friends for? And he goes, well, I just figured you were next. And I'm like, thanks. But no, I just laid around. I couldn't do anything. I just could not physically move. And
Anybody else in your family get sick too, though, Gary?
my daughter did. My son-in-law did. That's really it.
I know I don't want it, so.
No, you don't. No, and I don't know where I picked it up at. I mean, I'm out and
Got a lot
about.
of funerals.
So Bob was out and about. Mike Beeman got it. And all he had was a sniffle. You go, I'm kind of tired. I'm like, well, I got it for all of you then. It was horrid. Well, it's 7 o'clock. What do you think?
Let's roll.
All right. All right, let's open the meeting. Is there any additions to the agenda?
Just what I sent you guys with the extrication tool.
Okay,
If you're interested in adding that 9.6 under new business.
okay. Then if there's nothing else to be added, then I ask for a approval of the consent of the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
All right, seconded. All right. Approval of the minutes of the October 14th, 2020. I didn't see anything. I looked them over. To Matt, you look them over?
Yes, sir, and I didn't see anything, so I'll make that motion to accept the minutes
All
as
right.
read.
All right, now I make a second. Motion carried. And the financial report, please.
Yes, sir. As of October 31st, 2020, in the assets column, checking accounts in the general fund at Bank Star, 190,620.58. In the capital reserve at Bank Star, 518,875.71. And then the health reimbursement at Bank Star, $9,991.16. Total list of assets of 719,487.45. No liabilities and equity, and total income expense per period. Income 51,291.85 with expenses of $109,056.75.
Okay. I make a motion to accept that as read. And make a motion to adopt the ordinance 20-17 in order to pay the bills outlined in the check registry.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Fire marshal's report.
For the month of October, there were 2 permits issued, one for the Jefferson County Courthouse. They're adding a vestibule addition in the front, and one for a classroom remodel at Jefferson College. Fees charged were $599 and fees collected were in the same amount of $599.
Okay. What do you know about the addition to the police station?
Nothing.
Okay.
I know. I mean, I had heard they were doing something, but I thought they were just cleaning out that basement. I don't know.
Looks like it's cleaned out and they got heating and cooling company in there.
Yeah, they're doing a remodel, huh?
Yeah.
Well, they're pretty good at, they built that garage out there at the water treatment plant off BB.
Yeah.
Didn't get a permit, so. Who
They're
knows?
probably just maybe getting, I don't know, maybe bids or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, what about, let's look at the fire chief's report.
Oh, it's been interesting, let me tell you. 101 calls for the month of October. It was a very, very busy month for sure. And this month is setting up to be quite busy as well. Just crossed 900 calls for the year. Our last call we ran today. So we will probably definitely surpass what we did last year again. So we're still working through issues with the new CAD system. They're slowly rolling out the new computers for the apparatus. I'm testing one right now in my vehicle. I think it'll work well. This computer will give us the information on the call, dispatcher comments, and what units are responding for that. So Jason, you want to give a update on when you're picking up the apparatus and how that's going to work and what we're doing with that?
Okay, so I talked with Brad Cashin, the salesman, and Kevin Goon, who is our liaison with Sutphin. I believe it was last Thursday. As of last Thursday, the truck is scheduled to be completed either this Friday or next Monday. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we cannot go to Ohio to do a final on the truck. They have a mandatory 14-day quarantine if we were to go to Ohio, and Sutphen sticks by it because they don't want to get in trouble. So at 7 a.m., Monday the 30th, we have our virtual final will start at the firehouse. Once that's completed and we don't have any issues that they need to fix, I'll be able to schedule the appointment to get it into FMI, who is doing our equipment mounting. They said that could be anywhere from a week to 10 days out, possibly up to 2 weeks, but then we'll load the equipment, drive it, drop it off, and head back home. And they should have the truck at the most, they're saying around 15, 16 days.
Okay.
So right now, we're just kind of in a holding pattern. We're on hold because of COVID. So that's the way this year's going.
And just so you guys know too, I did tell Jason to make it very clear to the Sutphen people, under no circumstances are we signing off on anything until we actually see that truck in person. They can do the virtual final all they want, but we are not going to sign on any dotted line accepting that truck until we've gotten to have it delivered here to Hillsborough Fire, which is their responsibility, and done a walk around and a good look through of that truck ourselves, because as well as we do, virtual is just, it is what it is, and it's just somebody walking around a truck with a camera. We can't get in there and look at all the welds and missing bolts and stuff like that. So
we could miss a lot on a virtual.
Yeah, we're not signing off on anything. So
Okay.
Moving on, the Chiefs report. We've had lots of COVID issues over the past month. It's only going to get worse. We'll go over that when we get to that portion with the COVID report. Finished the budget. That's in the board packet. We'll go over that under new business. We are rolling with the hiring process for the SAFER grant as well too. That's going to be challenging, but we'll get there as well too. CARES reimbursement has gone before the county council. I believe we will be reimbursed. That's discussed under the COVID update as well too. We need to discuss too, and I don't think we need a motion on this or anything like that, but some options for selling the old 6514 and getting rid of that when we're done. Kind of my recommendation at this point in time would be, let's kind of send out an RFP to some of these consignment companies, see how much they're going to charge us basically to sell this fire truck, and probably best to have one of them sell it. They have a bigger piece of the market. They have bigger access to customers. Just kind of wanted your guys' thoughts on all that.
Oh yeah, us trying to sell it outright, that's not going to happen. So yeah, definitely. I think we want to look at some of the options, see if we can get somebody to sell it for us.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with it as long as it's not really expensive to do.
Right.
It'll be a percentage. We'll all take a percentage of whatever that sale is. So it won't cost us anything out of pocket per se. It'll just come off the price of the truck.
Right.
So, but I'll reach out and get some bids as to what these vendors are going to charge us moving forward. Several issues with the fleet over the past few weeks. 6523 had to go to Broadway Truck Centers to get a new window put in the driver's side door to get in the truck. We walked in one morning and it just had fallen down and broken, and of course nobody knows what happened or is admitting to what happened with that. So it'll come out eventually as to what actually happened with that. So and then we had to fix the exhaust system on that truck as well too. There was a broken bracket, I believe, so that cost us a little over $1,600 to fix that. Both 6514 and 13 ended up with some tire issues, so we had to do some valve stem work on both of the trucks. They were fixed by Purcell. We had pump and ladder testing completed in early November on the trucks. And for the month of October 2020, we completed a combined hours of training to the tune of 187 hours. Nothing too exciting to report under the community services division. We're still rolling forward with some CPR classes for our daycares and essential workers, and have to stay open and keep their licensing up. Other than that, we're trying to keep as many people out of the building as we possibly can. So move on to the COVID update, if you're good with that, Gary.
Yep.
Okay, the fire district, we're still operating at a red level due to an increase in cases. We have had 2 personnel quarantined in November, 1 paid personnel, and 1 volunteer. We work closely with the health department to ensure we were doing the right thing with that. Since then, we've got another guy out on another volunteer out on quarantine now as well too, due to an exposure at school. Excuse me. I went ahead and had Jacob Nikoloff cover some of the shifts at 2 House for the individuals that were out on quarantine to maintain our staffing levels. So we're going to kind of continue to use that critical staffing level of 2 out on quarantine prior to having case contacts come to work their normal shifts. So meaning as long as we can fill the shifts and somebody needs to quarantine, then we will continue to have them quarantine. We're kind of taking stuff on a case-by-case basis. There's a major difference than somebody who was around somebody for 20 minutes having a quick exposure to somebody with COVID than somebody that lives with, 2 or 3 other people that have actually had COVID. So we're kind of taking things on a case-by-case basis and managing that risk and working with the health department on all of that stuff. And so far it's worked out good. I am working with some of the neighboring chiefs to kind of quickly ramp up our part-time program. That way, if we do get to the point where we need to bring some part-timers in to cover these shifts, we will be able to get that done and keep our staffing levels where they need to be. Again, we want to keep the virus out of the firehouse as much as we possibly can. I'm sure everybody does, out of their own houses and everywhere. So we're doing the best we can with what we've got. Any questions on that?
No, you said the PPE's holding up?
Oh yeah, we're doing fine on PPE. We've got enough PPE for this outbreak and 10 more to follow after that. So we're in really good shape right now, PPE wise. The second part of the COVID is the CARES funding update. Our first CARES funding request breakdown is as follows. Our labor cost was $5,653.32. Other costs $13,928.65 for a total of $19,581.97. The CARES working group at the county revised that down to $19,031.97. I don't know why it got knocked down that little bit. And we have yet to see that money in our account. It evidently went before the council last week. So I'm kind of been watching the bank account and I'm kind of expecting it in there at any time. So we'll see. I found out pretty quickly that we were eligible for up to $37,000 in CARES reimbursement. So I went ahead. I know there wasn't board approval for this, but I made some final purchases and put them before the Jefferson County CARES group as well. I put in Jason's quarantine time and the other labor cost and some other costs for some new equipment that I have approved or asked for approval under new business for another $5,853.62. So I'm hopeful we'll get somewhere back around $25,000 from the county. It's not our full amount of money we were potentially eligible for. However, I don't want to do a fraudulent thing and request money that we didn't need. So any questions on CARES funding?
No.
I'm good.
Thank you.
Uh,
Oh, I have.
You got anything for communications?
No, sir.
Okay. I do see something here about the general election.
Yes, that's under new business.
That's under new business. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Old business pre-designed update.
COVID's got that all messed up again. So we were supposed to meet with him earlier in October and then he got quarantined. So that's where we're at with all this.
All right. And then new business declaration of election. All right.
Yes. Gary and Marcy are up for election. Gary is up for his normal election in April. Marcy will be up to fill the unexpired term of Director Brown, who resigned. So we will have 2 that we will have to run for the election. I got all the paperwork for the county, and within that paperwork, you will see the notice that will go in the paper for the election.
Yep.
The calendar, so filing for this election will start December 15th and end on January 19th, 2021. I also included kind of a spreadsheet of where we're at with you guys and your election cycles, but basically you guys can start filing December 15th.
Okay. Health insurance renewal.
Yes. We kind of had to have some hold on, I got my stuff out of order, sorry. Okay, we have spent the past month just poring over health insurance information. I have given you guys a comparison. I had our broker go out and shop for insurance. You can kind of see the current plan. We are being mapped to a different plan,
Mm-hmm.
meaning that UHC is canceling the current plan that we that we have. So the mapped renewal, which the benefits there were pretty crappy if you ask me, the map renewal that they sent us to was going to cost us $61,819.20. You can see he also shopped some other UHC plans, Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, and some other stuff, Humana, everything that was kind of in that small spreadsheet that's incredibly difficult to read and you need a magnifying glass for. However, we got extremely lucky, and he was able to come across the Chamber of Commerce plan, which is underwritten by Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, which is a very good plan compared to what we had. We're talking $1,000 deductible, which is nothing. Pretty much normal type pharmacy, normal type prescriptions, normal type of all that stuff, nothing crazy. And you can see the price there. We're going to be able to drop our health insurance from $61,000 a year down to $41,112 a year as well too. Part of this also is firefighter or Captain Kyle Husky wants to bring his kids onto the plan as well too, and the district has traditionally covered 25% of children when they are brought over to the fire district's plan. So that's all figured into the budgeting process for next year as well too. So my recommendation is we move to the Chamber of Commerce plan, the Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield plan. I can't see where we can go wrong with that, and we're saving just an exorbitant amount of money. It's unbelievable.
Right.
No, I agree. That's a good price. And so I know we've already talked about this, but let's make a motion to approve this and let's get it going.
Here, you want to make the motion? You want me to make the motion?
You go ahead.
I'll make the motion that we accept the Chamber of Commerce plan.
All right.
Not Commerce, Chamber plan.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you guys.
All right. The CARES funding purchase.
Yeah, again, I kind of touched on the fact that we realized that little extra money that we had some costs that came up with Darian working at from home. We had to get him a laptop and get some stuff set up for that. So we went ahead and purchased 3 webcams for virtual meetings, 3 laptops, some new pulse oximeters for our trucks, and Adobe Video creating a video for creating training videos for distance learning for $4,607.30. And then we put in for Darian's quarantine pay and the volunteer shift stipend to cover his shift as well too for another $1,246.25 for a grand total of $5,852.62. So I would hope you guys are okay with those purchases, and we can get in the minutes a motion to approve those purchases and move forward.
Go ahead, Matt.
I'll make the motion. That we
Second.
submit
Yeah.
these.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Budget time. Budget adoption.
Okay, guys, what percentage in your board packet, the proposed 2021 budget? Things from this year are looking very, very good. I guess the first question, did you guys get a chance to read through the budget? I know it's a lot of information, a lot of stuff to read through. Do you guys have any questions? How do you want me to present this to you? However you want me to do this, we can do this.
Well, let's look at the budget proposal for this year for the strategic goals that you have in mind.
These are just the strategic management goals that were adopted with the strategic management plan. So we always try to get the budget to match these plans and try to get these goals met. So obviously goal 1 is to place a new rescue pumper in service. We're hoping for late this year. I don't know if we're going to meet that or not. We'll see. It may be early next year before that's in service. Goal 2 is consider attempting another tax levy, which I think that would be prudent to talk about maybe next month, because we're going to shortly run out of time with making a decision on that. Complete the hiring process for the hiring of 6 additional firefighters. That's already in the works and moving forward. Complete a bathroom addition at Station 2. We're actually moving forward with that already as well too. We've done some tear out and gotten some things rolling in the right direction with that and started to kind of get a plan together. Consider replacing the concrete in the front of the bays at Station 1. I have budgeted for that next year. Our pad is getting in really, really bad shape. I sure hate spending 15 grand on an inanimate object like concrete, but we're going to have to do something before that causes us a whole lot of problems moving forward. So continue applying for grants. We do that on an ongoing basis. Deputy Chief Darian does a great job keeping in line with all of that, and continue placing money in the appropriate funds for future expenses. So with that in mind, everything within that budget strives to meet the goals of the financial committee. Do you have any questions on that?
No, I was going to ask, is there anything that you've seen from the end of the year, knowing going further, that is going to be a surprise or anything that we need to worry about?
There's nothing that I can foresee as a surprise at this point in time. Could a surprise happen? Well, of course.
Of course.
Absolutely it could, but I really don't foresee any surprises at this point in time. If you look at I want you to pay particular attention to, and I think this is the most important stuff to get through all the fluff. If you move forward to, let me find it. There's a comparison. Hold on, I'll get you to the right section, guys. Towards the back. It's actually the very last page. Section 25, very last page. So that's an overall picture of our fund balances, the reserve funds, the general funds, where we've been, what we've been able to put away from 2019, what we're projected to do this year, and what we're projected to do next year. So particular attention, if you look at where it says fund balance increase 2019 to 2020. There is a negative fund balance there, $19,331.35. If remember, we bought land, we bought the boats, the UTV, and all that equipment this year. That negative $19,000 was originally projected to be $144,000 fund balance decrease this year. So we've done extremely well financially this year for a combination of reasons. I know somebody could ask, well, you're being too conservative with the budget. Well, not really. We had the best sales tax year we've ever had. We've gotten grants, we've gotten other stuff, and mostly our staff has not spent a whole heck of a lot of money in order to make that number look good. So if you look next year at the 2021 projected fund balances, we're looking at a revenue of $1,411,131,000, an expense of $1,377,477, putting another 23,000 and some change into the equipment fund, 10,000 into the building and land fund. So our fund balances, if you look over on the right-hand side, we're going to be continuing to increase this moving forward. So I'm very happy as to where the district is at now, personally, financially. We've done great, and we're keeping up with these purchases. I think Deputy Chief Darian can kind of attest to this as well too. There was, again, the Hillsborough Fire District has had a hard time in the past of future planning. It just is what it is. So we've kind of spent money as it's been needed, which is not necessarily a good thing. Yeah, trucks break, you need to spend money on that, but we're working to the point where, yeah, we know that we're going to need this many sets of turnout gear, this many sets of batteries for our walkie-talkies, because that's becoming a expense every year, and really trying to narrow down our budget and project forward what equipment we're going to need and how we're going to be able to buy this stuff moving forward. But I think overall we're really moving in the right direction. And all the budgets include the safer guys this year, their insurance. This has been the most painful budget I've ever had to do in my entire career, to sit here and painstakingly go over every single line item, because you hire 6 people, that everybody thinks, well, that affects payroll. Well, that affects electric, that affects your sewer, that affects your water bill, that affects every aspect almost of your budget. You've got to be sure that we're increasing for that. And I really attempted to do that. I'm not saying that it's perfect, but I really think we're moving in the right direction with all of this. I really do. I'd like to see if Jason has anything he wants to add to that with the budget.
Nah, Chief, my 2 cents is just going to be, I mean, you've done a phenomenal job with the things that are coming. Adding the 6 employees to this is something that hasn't been done here since Hillsborough started with employees. I mean, they had 1 or 2 at a time, and then they went to shift work. I mean, this hasn't been done in over 30 years. I mean, there's a lot of unknowns that all of us are going to have to deal with. And are we getting to the point where we're going to need some new equipment in certain areas? Yeah, we are. And I'll get a list of Chief, and he'll fill it in where it needs to go in the future, and we'll keep going for grants. Heck, we got another grant out there right now for more extrication equipment to replace the 15-year-old set on 24. So fingers crossed that we get that one. But anytime I see something that says free money online, I go after it.
Thank you, Jason, for doing that.
Yeah. Well, do we need to make is this the final, or?
This is just the proposed
Okay.
2021 budget. We adopt it now. We amend the budget whenever we need to, whenever we want to. So what we'll do is, after the first of the year, when all the remaining funds are spent, we'll see where exactly we end up. We'll adopt a final budget from this year, and then re-amend this budget moving forward for next year, because we'll know the actual beginning fund balances of everything. So a budget's just a dynamic tool, and this allows us to next year operate off of this budget that's in front of you guys. So,
Well, then, Matt, you want to make a motion to adopt this as it is?
I will, and then to thank Frenchie for all his hard work on putting this together. So, I mean, I think it looks great. So,
Okay.
well, thank you. I
I'll make
appreciate
that
that.
motion there.
And I could not do it without everybody else in the department too. So they're just as much behind this as I am. Everybody's doing a great job. So,
Yep. Very lucky.
absolutely.
Uh, Year-end purchases.
I will start off by saying that these year-end purchases and the fund balances are figured in already into that beginning balance for next year. So this will not be another $30,000 that we take off of that at this point in time that we're going to talk about here. We do have some stuff that we are in desperate need of buying moving forward. We have gotten to the point where our lack of buying turnout gear has caught up to us. Our spare turnout gear cache is not where it needs to be. That gear is getting old, and I'm not advocating buying spare gear just to sit there and do nothing. That's not what I'm getting at. But anyway, a lot of our new folks come through the door and they get at least a set of spare gear to start with that is, a little bit older, but some of that stuff's getting absolutely old, and we need to do something about that. So I would like to see if we can move forward and buy 5 more sets of gear this year, which will bring us to 10 sets for this year. And then I got another 5 budgeted again for next year to bring us up to a little closer to par for where we need to be. I've got a lead on some gear. It's Globe. It's through McQueen Fire Apparatus or Fire Equipment, excuse me. Somebody ordered 30 sets and didn't want it, or they screwed an order up or something like that. So they got a bunch of sets that they're letting go fairly inexpensive at $2,800 a set. So I'd like to recommend we buy 5 more sets of that stuff if we can. We are running dangerously low on helmets again as well too. So I'm recommending the purchase of 15 more helmets. I know that sounds like a lot, but we go through some helmets, and there's some people with some helmets that are approaching the 20-year mark that we need to start cycling through and getting out of there per se. So we're estimating that costed $5,250. We're getting dangerously low on leather structural fire boots as well too. I know I'm still wearing a pair that's 10 plus years old, and there's some other people probably wearing sets that are from 04 when we first bought leather fire boots out there. So I'd like to order 10 pair of these boots as well too. That'll cost close to $4,000. We are low on firefighting gloves as well. We need to order 10 pairs of gloves, and this will cost roughly $1,650. Station 1 and Station 2 both need some new pots and pans and various other kitchen items. I'm only estimating that to be $400 to $500, somewhere around in there. But I mean, we've got pots upstairs that have been here longer than I have, and we probably got some employees with Teflon poisoning from eating out of those pots. So it's definitely something that is needed. With the addition of the new full-timers at Station 2, we need to complete the remodel in addition to the bathroom out there. I'm going to kind of ask for an initial $5,000 for the supplies to get that rolling in the right direction with all of that. That may not be it. We may need a little bit more to get that done. But Deputy Chief Darian, they're going to start laying out everything and getting the proper measurements so we can start nailing down what we need cost-wise. And we're going to compare metal versus wood studs as well too to see what's cheaper right now, because that's fluctuating daily as well too. Then we also need to purchase 3 additional beds for Station 2, which will cost around $1,200 or so. Not a big deal there. The grand total we're asking for at this point in time is $31,600. And then I slapped in front of you guys as well too that battery operated set of rescue tools that kind of fell into our lap. It's a demo set from Homatro. Our end goal was to get battery operated tools on our tankers 6523 and 6513. So this would be one step closer to getting one of those taken care of. It is used, but it's probably just a hair. We paid just a hair over half price for what that thing costs brand new. So it's a hell of a deal. No doubt about it. At $7,000 $204. So let me total that up again here. So we're 16 plus 7204.48. $38,804.40 is what we're looking at total for some. The extrication tool was not part of that initial thing. That just fell into my lap literally Monday. However, I think we've got more than enough money if we need to take it out of the equipment fund, if we need to, or transfer a little bit from the equipment fund over to general fund this year. Again, I think we've had a stellar year. We really have. And that important number to look at is the overall projection of a negative $144,000 fund balance to we're only at negative 19,000 now. So worst comes to worst, we add another 10 grand onto that, and we're at negative $29,000 fund balance, or a decrease of 29,000. It's still $20,000 to the good of what we thought we were going to be at. So that's my spiel. That's my story.
I don't have a problem with all the amendments, and I think we need to get those tools.
It's a heck of a deal.
Yeah, and all of it looks like it's that we need, so I don't have a problem. I'll make the motion, Gary, if you want me to approve that.
All right, and second, aye, we're good there.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Anything else you're thinking?
That's it.
All right.
I spent a lot of money. Sorry.
You want us to ask for more money, Gary?
Well, as long as it's legitimate, but no, but
No.
I think we're okay. I just, I appreciate you guys, all the hard work and everything. I know this has been transitions and everything and COVID, and I just wanted to thank you very much for all the hard work and effort that you have placed in here.
Well, thank you guys as well, too. We appreciate it. It's been a very interesting year,
Say the least.
to say the least. Yes.
All right. Well, then let's, Matt, you make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion. Hey, one question though, Frenchie, when is the application process in for the additional firefighters?
It started the 12th of November and it ends the 15th of December.
Have you had a lot of applicants?
5 or 6 so far.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
Well,
are you
Gary, I'll make
are you interested?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Part-time, of course.
Part-time. Okay.
I'll make the motion that we close the meeting out.
All right, then, motion's adjourned, 7:38. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good evening.
Hey, Matthew, no road district
Okay.
meeting.
I would assume that.
Yeah. Everybody's, Bill and Joyce is not feeling well or quarantined, so
Are they really?
he says he's fine, but he said he thinks that he just needs to avoid being out in public.
Yep. Fine by me.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Good night, all.
Thank